Alright, headed to the gym again. My favorite place. Recently posted a video on Facebook, and I'll have to go over and repost again today. Had an opportunity present itself a few months back that I was really excited about, really interested in. So I went ahead and pursued it. Got the email today that my option is no longer being considered. Went all the way through the interview process, which is a multifaceted, multi-step process. Has taken months to get through, and only to be told no at the very end. It's a kick in the teeth. Guys, I posted a video about failure and disappointment on here a while back, and this is just a prime example of it. This was going to be a big win for me and my family. It was going to set us up financially. It was going to get us in a position to where we could just quit worrying about a lot of things. And I got told no. So, am I disappointed? Absolutely. I was very excited about this. This is something that, like I said, I pursued it in the past, and another opportunity presented itself that was really good, and I gave this opportunity up. What opportunity, you ask? It was to be an Edward Jones financial advisor. Before I went to law school, I was pursuing this, and actually got into the process early, and then I got the letter from law school saying I had been accepted, and I basically quit the process to go to law school. And I don't regret that 1 ounce. That was something that I wanted to do, just like the Edward Jones thing, and it just came up first, and it was a for sure deal, so I went ahead and went with it. Here's the deal. This opportunity come back around, and I found it online just by happenstance, and I went and pursued it. Discussions with my wife, it felt like God was really pushing me in this direction now, because everything was so easy. Everything just kind of flowed, and it really fit with everything that was going on. But it was a deviation. I know for a fact the path God put me on was through law school. I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt. This was something that, again, I thought was a God thing, because here's this opportunity come back around to present itself really for a third time, and a second time that I actually got to do the process. So, naturally, when things are easy and things come quickly, and it's just that feels right, we want to attribute that to God and Him opening doors. Guys, it's more complicated than that. I missed it. I ain't gonna lie. I know God sent me on the path through law school. I thought this was maybe something that He was doing since everything has changed. It didn't pan out. To attribute that to God is kind of counterintuitive. I have the qualifications for Edward Jones. There's no doubt about it. For whatever reason they chose not to go with me, doesn't matter. The fact is, I got told no again. Now, a lot of people, they get the frustration, the disappointment, and they just lay down in it. That's not me. I'm not going to. I had a plan in place before I ever tried to go and pursue that, and it didn't pan out. So guess what? Back to square one. I'm not above it. I'm not deterred by it. I'm not just defeated by it. Yeah, again, it was a kick in the teeth. I was really excited about it. I went all the way to the end of the process. Everybody that I spoke with really really didn't give me any indication that there was any issues that I might not, be accepted. But that doesn't matter. Again, the reason that it happened doesn't matter. Anytime you come up against adversity, or you get told no, or things are looking bleak, you really have got to buckle down and just dig into that part of you that is positive and that is just, built up to keep you going. You've got to have fortitude. You've got to have determination. You have got to love life. And this is a part of life. Not everything that you do is going to pan out. I ain't going to lie. Everything that I've tried to do since law school has blown up in my face. And it can be discouraging. It can be frustrating. I could just throw my hands up and say, whatever, I'm just going to have to live like this for the rest of my life, and this is just how it is. And I refuse to do that. The part of me that wants to do that is no longer louder than the part of me that wants to strive for better. And you've got to get to that point in your life. It's extremely easy to just be like, well, this is just how it is and I can't do any better. And that's not the truth. Guys, even when I was on oxygen 24/7 and really couldn't do much, I was doing as much as I could, and I always wanted better. And the only way those wants become reality is to get out and get your hands dirty and put the time in and the work in. There's no way around it. It's not going to fall in your lap, and this is proof of it. I tried to do something with an opportunity that presented itself that, wasn't in God's plan. I'm not here to say whether it is or not. One day I may get to be an Edward Jones financial advisor, but that's down the road now. For whatever time, right now, it just isn't the time. It's okay. The frustration that it brings, I'm headed to the gym right now. I'm fixing to work it out. I ain't gonna let it, take root inside of me and create, bitterness and anguish and disappointment. I'm not going to do it. You can't do it. You can't allow that no, that, or even a not right now, to get in you and just take root and create something that is just weeds. It's very easy to get discouraged and get down on yourself. I've done something wrong. I said the wrong thing. I wasn't consistent in my answers. Whatever, I can analyze it from top to bottom. I can call the people, beg them for an answer, but I'm not going to, because that's not life. Life is constantly moving, and you have to move with it, or else you're going to become a very, very bitter person. The worry is useless. If you want to do it, you've got to make something happen. You've got to get out. You've got to do it, because it's not going to do it for you. God intervenes in this world a lot. None of us would probably be here if God hadn't intervened at some point in our lives. But I can tell you this, God is not going to do it for you. I have lived for 38 years. He has sustained my health even today. Yes, I had to have a lung transplant. I was praying for a complete healing. Okay, I wanted a divine, miraculous, brand new lungs. I wanted a creative miracle, and it didn't happen for me. That doesn't mean that it won't happen for you. For whatever reason, I couldn't get myself in a position to receive that from God, is on me. But that doesn't mean that I haven't been given the miracle of life through the transplant. And we have this problem in Christianity. Christianity about being able to pivot from, believing for a divine, creative miracle to thanking God for the miracle that we've gotten. And there's a problem with that, It makes you feel like a failure. When you go out and try to do something and it doesn't pan out for whatever reason, you just get down on yourself, and it's like, well, maybe if I did this, or maybe if I did that, or said this, or said that, or was this way or that way. All of those things could be absolutely true. But the only thing you can do at this point is take those truths, embrace them, use them to catapult you forward and change for the better. If you let it beat on you and you just think about it all the time, well, I should have done this, I should have done that, before you realize it, it's going to eat you alive. You're going to become that person that is either afraid to do anything because you're going to be like, it's not going to work out, it's going to fail, it's going to blow up. And I got to that point after law school. Taking the bar a couple times and getting your blah, blah, blah. Getting your teeth kicked in by it is an extremely sobering thing. You spend all this time, all this energy, all this money, sweat, tears, neglecting your family to do this thing only to be told no. It takes a toll on you. But that's where, the God in you really shows. Are you going to just sit down in this misery and wallow in it and accept it as what it is and just be like, whatever? Or are you going to, accept it, embrace it, and get up and move forward? I can't tell you how many times in my life I've had to take a knee, because I've got the wind knocked out of me by a situation like this. And it's just like, wow. All this time, all this effort, being put into this, and it's like, nope, you ain't good enough. When it's not even that. It's just, it is what it is. It's a no. It ain't that you ain't good enough. It ain't that you can't do it. It ain't that, for whatever reason, God's timing is off. It's just a word. It's a no. No, you can't do this right now. And that's okay. That's acceptable. You don't have to do this right now. You can do any number of things. But what you can't do is let it get in you and just fester. Like I said, I had a plan coming down here, and it's still the plan today. So I sat down this morning after I got told no, and I started plotting out, got the old plan out, and just started plotting my course again. And I'll follow that until something else comes up. I'm not going to just sit on this and be like, well, that's that. It's not in me anymore. It's not who I am. God is constantly moving, constantly creating, constantly doing something with us and in our lives. And you can't be stagnant. You have to move. Creation has been moving since the beginning. Movement is life. And you've got to really understand that. Sitting on the couch all the time, not doing anything, not moving, will eventually kill you. Sedentary lifestyles have been shown to be detrimental to your health. And a sedentary attitude is no different. If you're going to accept something and then just accept it and live it, then eventually you're going to die. It's going to eat you up. So what do? You take a knee. You take a breath. You square yourself. Okay. What's next? Go on to the next one. Move on to the next one. If you have to go back to square one, go back to square one. I've done it time and time and time again. And sometimes I gain ground. I get a little bit farther ahead. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I lose a little bit. And I've got to go back and do it again. That's okay. You can do it. I can do it. If you need help, hey, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on, well, not on Instagram anymore, but, you know, find somebody to do it with. Relationships are important. You know, take the ones you got and dig into them. Especially the relationship you got with God. You know, that's the most important thing. You know, He will teach you that get up, that go, that how to let things go and move forward and move on and not let it affect your future and the way you move and think and do and talk. You know, that's what it's all about. So, that being said, if you've recently, like me, been told no, been knocked down again, that's all right. I'm going to take a knee. You can take one with me. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to get our bearings, square our shoulders, and move forward. And I hope you do too. If you need a day or two, however long it is for you that you need to take to get back on track, take it. You know. But set a date. You know. I'm going to wallow in this for, you know, a couple of weeks, and then I'm moving forward. For me, I ain't wallowing in it for 1 second. I got told no. That heaviness hit me in the chest, and I was like, nope, it ain't happening. I got up, got my breakfast, went about my day like I always do. Sat down, worked through my calendar, and now I'm headed to the gym. I'm going to work all that frustration out on some weight, throw some iron around, just really get inside my head and clean house. And when I get back home, I'm going to start on the plan. So I got about 2 hours to grieve, and then I'm going to bury this thing. Say a prayer over it, and move on with life. Because I love it. This is what it's all about. And I hope that that's what is coming through in all these videos that you watch. The love for life that you got to have to just be that positive person and positive influence and watch things happen around you as you get closer to God and open your life up to Him. He will make things happen for you, give you favor where you need it, and it will show in His plan and His time. And we'll see you next time. Y'all be blessed.